welcome back to Dirtlocked, the challenge where I have to complete every single archaeology find in the Eastern Kingdoms before I can even move to the next continent. Right now, I am deep in the grind for troll, dwarf and fossil fragments, and in the last episode we got pretty lucky and managed to pick up the fossilized hatchling from the fossil category? Family? I don't know what to call it. Yeah, we got the fossilized hatchling from fossils and the voodoo figurine from the trolls. Those were big early wins for some rare solves. And I'm a bit relieved that it was pretty quick compared to, you know, going 4 or 5 episodes without a single rare. Yeah, I hope you liked the little intro that I put together. It took a lot longer than I want to admit. I googled so many different ways to do things, and I'm not going to lie, it took me a long time to figure some of that stuff out. In the footage you can see right now on screen, I am in the burning steps, and I'm just cleaning out dig sites. And then I was grabbing some footage for the intro, so I was playing with my UI off. I found a silken treasure chest, and I didn't check my bags until later on, and I see that it was an orb of deception. So I rushed to the auction house to find that it's selling for 25,000 gold. So I don't know what to do with it. It's in the bank just now, and I'm not touching it. I want to use it because it's something that I've tried to grind for and find for a long time. But at the same time, I also think it's 25,000 gold. I think that's a fair amount of money to sacrifice for the use of a mount, rather than being like, oh hey, I'll give away 100 gold and they have unlocked ground mounts. Like, you know, that's silly. That sucks. So I've thrown it in the bank. I'll let you decide what we do. So we can. These aren't all the only options. I'll take any suggestion. The option I came up with so far are send it to my main, sacrifice it for a mount because it's worth a lot of money, use it and keep it because that's the one I want. So yeah, if you have any other ideas, just, you know, comment them down below and I'll poll them. We'll figure something out. The poll from the second episode about ground mounts only got 2 votes, and I don't really think that that's a large majority. I think it's a bit unfair, so I'm going to continue on without any ground mounts or flying mounts. The only transport I can use is flight paths, but only if I've travelled there by foot. Quick apology for the last episode being a bit short and rushed. I wasn't fully happy with it, so from here on I'm going to try and stick to the longer, more fully built out episodes whenever I can. I do have a full-time job, so editing videos and working at it's a hard balance, so I'll try my best. This one's probably going to take a couple of, like, I'm saying this in the current time. At this time, this episode's probably taken a few days for me to get out because, I mean, editing the intro took I think at least a day. The main part of the episodes isn't really difficult because it's just, you know, doing archaeology, which is really, really boring. So it's the hard part is me figuring out what the hell I'm going to talk about over the top of archaeology. It's easier when I stream it because I can just waffle on about random stuff and talk to people in the chat, whereas if I'm just recording it and it's just me, it's a lot harder. But yeah, anyway, so the last day or so I've been grinding out fragments like crazy. As you can see just there in the bottom left, which I'll zoom in on, there are 200 troll, fossil and dwarf fragments in my archaeology book, I guess. We're going to start off today by solving as much of this as we can. We're not going to use any of the little green items that you can add in to save fragments. We'll keep those for rare things and epic things. So I'll solve what I can, and hopefully we can get something rare to start working for in this episode. Right now I'm level 30. Let's see, I'm level 30. I have 178 gold right now. I've got 1 troll tablet, 1 highborn scroll and 3 dwarf runestones. So I need to vendor some of this crap. My gear, I've upgraded some of it. I did a loop of the blasted lands, which I'll show you on screen now. I'll just speed up the footage. I was doing a loop after finishing a dig site, and I killed all the rare mobs and got the flawless Stranathist spheres and the imperfect ones, or whatever they're called as well. Got a bunch of those, turned them into the quest giver, and opened the boxes. We got a couple of greens. I got 2 of these needle threaders, And I also got an epic item, which I can't remember what it is, but I'll put it on screen just now. And that also sells for 15,000 gold. I guess it's a transmog or something. I don't really know. It looks ugly. I don't know why anyone would spend 15k on it, but it's worth 15k apparently on the auction house. Yeah, so let's get started with these fragments, and we'll get to it. Okay, so here we are. We're in Stormwind, just sitting in a little kind of cozy place. I have, if I can move this, yeah. So I've got Troll, Fossil, and Dwarf fragments maxed out. The solve buttons are here, which is great for the add-on, which I'm not going to use it though, because I think it just looks nicer if I use this. So we'll start off with Dwarf, and we'll get that started. Like I said, I'm not going to use any of these little runestone things. I'm just going to save those for if we have any rare things to solve. So let's solve the Stone Griffin and see if we can get any rares quickly. The add-on just pops up again. I'm just going to leave it there. So nothing rare, just a pewter drinking cup. Solve that. A Scepter of Charlga Razorflank. I think she's the boss in Razorfen Crawl, right? Ironstar's Petrified Shield. Okay, last one for the dwarves, and it's still a common, so that's 4 common solves, and no rare, damn. Right, let's move on to the fossil. Oh, if anyone's curious about the Night Elf thing, I had a dig site up in, that's not my map, that's my bag. It was the Quilithian Lodge, this one here. I had one up here, and I wasn't sure whether it would be Night Elf or whether it would be, like, fossils. I assumed it would be fossils, but when I got there and started, it was Night Elf. So I have those fragments, but I'm not going to use any of the fragments until I reach Calendar, until I've unlocked Calendar. So those are completely out. I'll just leave them there, and I won't. I'll still have to solve the not solve. Sorry, I'll still have to complete the dig sites so that I can get another dig site fresh. Because if I end up with all dig sites in Night Elf zones in the Eastern Kingdoms, I'm kind of screwed. So I'll do the dig sites that I can, and then maybe hopefully we'll get to the Calendar very fast, and then it means we've got a nice little boost to the start Calendar off with. Right, we'll do trolls next, and then we'll do fossils last. So it's a skull-shaped planter. Solve that one. Bodacious door knocker. And wait, hold on, how do we not have enough? It says we have 165 out of 35. I'm confused here. Okay, did that bug out there? That's strange. Anyway, the Atal Eye Scepter, another common. It's just going back to, oh, I don't know what's going on there. That's strange. Zandalari Voodoo Doll, another common. Come on, give us a rare. We need a rare. Stop going back. I suppose this is good because it's hiding whatever item we have. Drakari Sacrificial Knife. I got the Artisan Archaeologist. Nice. Lovely. 300 skill points in Archaeology. Ooh. A Haunted War Drum. We have a rare. Perfect. Alright, we'll leave that rare there. I don't know if I can solve it right now. I don't know if I think I have Troll Artifacts. Oh my god, this UI is horrible. I've got one, which takes me to 80, so I can probably get enough fragments if I head down to Stranglethorn or somewhere down south. There's probably some troll ruins that I can excavate. Last but not least, fossils. So we've got a vicious ancient fish, another common. Get rid of it. It keeps going back to this door knocker. Devilsaur Tooth. An insect in amber. Strange velvet worm. Let's get rid of that. And a feathered raptor arm. Should be the last one. And last, yeah, shard of petrified wood. That's the last one. So we can't solve that. So we've done our troll, done our dwarf, done our fossil. So let's focus on the troll. Let's get the haunted war drum out of the way. Where's the next dig site? Do we have? So it's a dwarf, Drintha Allure. So we have been to Jintha Allure already. in the Hinterlands. So I'll fly there and we'll come back when we're at the dig site.
Jintha Allur, one of the last great troll strongholds in the Eastern Kingdoms, a huge multi-tiered fortress carved into the mountains of the Hinterlands. Once a centre of ritual power for the Witherbark and Vilebranch tribes, it was a place where dark Loa worship and blood rituals shaped every stone. In Classic, but nowadays it's just full of non-elite trolls that you can absolutely beat the hell out of with your eyes closed. So, after beating the hell out of all the trolls we could find and making our way up to the top of Jintha Allur, I start digging. Now, we do get a few troll icons, which is perfect. I'm going to keep those. I might use some for the current solve for the drums, or I might save them for future solves, or I might use them to skip a few commons if it'll let me, because sometimes you can and sometimes you can't. So I'm not entirely sure what I'll do yet, but we'll see. Once we finish this dig site, I am going to close off the episode, because I think the runtime's quite long, and I know there's not been a lot of archaeology throughout the episode. We did do a bunch of solves earlier on, with 200 fragments in each of the things. So what I'll do is I'll try and start off each video with 200 solves. Each video won't contain a stupidly long to edit intro, and I will try and have maybe a little bit more like kind of lore flyby cinematic scenes like I just did for Jintha Allur as well. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate anyone that's watched, appreciate anyone that's liked, appreciate anyone that's subscribed to the channel, and appreciate the people that have been very nice and whispering me and asking me when the episode is in game. That's been really nice to see. Thank you very much again, and see you in the next episode.